Well, hey, what's up, guys? It's probably not maybe your favorite YouTuber here. You guys seem a little bit more eager to see me review the final book in the series than me actually reviewing the movie, which I guess makes sense. So, yeah, we're here. Literally, my last Common Underpants video was like ages ago. Yeah, I feel like I should watch that again. Wink, wink, foreshadowing. Anyway, so 12 books in, it took an awful long time to review them, but you know. So, yeah, this time it's Captain Underpants and the Sensational Saga of Sir Stinks-a-Lot. Apparently, Indigo exclusive glow-in-the-dark poster. Oh yeah, there's a poster inside. Yeah, I'll get to that by the end. But, yeah, so this is the 12th epic novel by Dave Pilkey. I wanted to review this book, but then I really wanted to eat a popsicle, so then I said, okay, film the video, and then you'll have your popsicle. Reward yourself. I feel like I should analyze the cover, but really, I kinda already did that in my Captain Underpants Book 12 cover thing. I was so proud of that video. It was my most popular video on this channel until it just got completely towered over by their Will There Be a Captain Underpants Book 13. But, yeah, so... let's begin, I guess. So, we start off with an introduction that introduces us to the four main characters, named George Beard, Harold Hunchkins, Yesterday George, and Yesterday Harold. And they introduce us to a comic that fills us in and everything that happened in the last series. Dave Pilkey just put the number on the spine. So, we start off with chapter 1, which literally lasts one page, and it's literally just the intro that's at the beginning of every book. And then, this gave me a laugh. So, Dave Pilkey was upset of people saying, like, why don't you put the number on the spine? And he was upset of all the old people saying, like, my children are reading your book series called Captain Underpants. I mean, I don't need to read the book because I know it's inappropriate because it has underwear in it. Please stop or I will call the authorities. So, Dave Pilkey, and rightfully so, I should say, just spills his anger all out and just, it's just hilarious. And he also tried to encourage kids to read. Reading is power, ain't it? You know, but this is just, he just spills his anger out on these pages. It's kind of hilarious. Chapter 3 is Dave Pilkey explaining how, if we're so smart, why are we remaking the same dang phone every single year? Why? Not be old people, damn isn't a curse word. Anyway, so, they keep on making the exact same phone, except it's like a centimeter bigger. And probably the next one is going to be able to tell if your heart is still beating or not, or if you're still breathing or something, or if your brain is still functioning. I don't care about any of that. I just want my phone so that I can text people. Look, okay. I have no idea what version of this phone is, but it's my phone, and I'm probably going to have it for a very long time. As you can see, it is not at risk of being a terrible phone at all. It is like brand new. Looks like it was just invented. You can totally tell that everything is cool with it. But anyway, so we could devote all this money that we spent on creating more phones to curing cancer, curing AIDS, discovering time travel, discovering what to do if someone creates a love potion, because then it's just going to be chaos everywhere. Yeah, but instead, no, we gotta make, what were the examples? Spray on hair, car alarms, and leaf blowers. Well, spray on hair I understand. Car alarms are smart. What are you talking about? I guess if you're not near your car, then... I mean, what they could do is make a thing, like, you can have, like, a little, like, beeper on you. And then if someone breaks into your car, it sends a signal to that beeper, and then your beeper goes off. That way, no matter where you are, you know if someone's breaking into your car. I gotta say, Dave Pilkey, you really inspired me to write. I started a book series, and book 1 is basically this book with a little tweaks in it. So, one day I really want to publish it. And people, like, the kids at my school are always telling me, like, you gotta publish these books. And I was like, But if I do one day publish them, Dave, please understand. But please understand. Please don't call me for copyright. I know that's basically this book told with, like, a few details changed, but please, like, original ideas from there on out. I don't know what I'm saying. Anyway, in chapter 4, we move on to, Smart Earth, where humans are just slightly more advanced than us. They still got McDonald's. McDonald's is extremely unhealthy. Maybe McDonald's healthy there. But anyway, so they mix some smart Diet Coke, smart Pop Rocks, and smart Mentos in, and then basically, the planet just kind of blows up. You're just ripping off Krypton. Dave Pilkey, if I published that book and you call it for copyright, trucks of the planet go everywhere and land on different planets. They're basically Dave Pilkey just randomly typed into a keyboard and said, we'll make that a planet. But, okay, someone explain the grapes things to me. Another piece of Zygogodzilla 24 ended up in the grape vineyard of the planet Pinot. The Zygogodzilla 24 was quickly absorbed into the soil and was subsequently soaked up into the grapes. These grapes, which have until recently been harvested almost to extinction, suddenly became self-aware and super-intelligent. They banded together in bunches and rose up to defeat their oppressors. Okay, I understand all that. Now all of a sudden they look like this, and they got legs and stuff, and the battle lasted one whole night, but sadly it ended the next morning when the sun came up. The rebellion shriveled when the poor grapes ran out of juice. Apparently there's a reason for everything. Huh? So another chunk of the planet lands in the hospital where all the teachers are, and Mr. Meaner eats it like an idiot, and he says, tastes like chicken. You're ripping off the Doctor Who episode 11 monsters, and you're also ripping off Spy Kids 4 while you're at it. The way they escape the hospital is kind of clever, even though it probably wouldn't really work in real life. But let's just say, if you were in front of a computer who could answer any question, and your task was to ask it a question that it couldn't answer, read this book. This book will tell you exactly how to defeat it. So they started up the school without getting caught by the police somehow. I don't know, just roll with it. And then Mr. Meaner goes in, who made this thing that comes out of his armpits for some reason, because why not? Mr. Meaner sprays them with something, which somehow caused them to become extremely obedient childrens. They are extremely obedient childrens now. Very good grammar on my part. It's basically a ripoff of Book 5 again, with the robots roaming around the school and being super obedient. But what's odd is that George and Harold walk past this sign and the teachers say that they could easily rearrange the letters to say, our cafeteria makes you barf. Let's see, our cafeteria make, they can take the S off that, they can take the Y off of that, the O off here, the U off there, barf. Yeah, they could. But if you're so smart about that, teachers, then first off, why are you acting so dumb? And second off, why constantly make signs? Like, when you make a sign, look at it and say, can George and Harold rearrange this? If yes, then tweak it. I gotta say two things. First off, I like how Dave Pilkey made the quotation marks, like, match their robotic voices. And second off, the reaction to George and Harold seeing their yesterday selves is priceless. But also, just look at that. They look like an old couple here. George and Harold looked at each other in horror. Never in a million years would they have used the words homework and fun in the same sentence. What about the sentence, homework is not fun? Mr. Meaner calls his creation Riddle-Kid 2000 with a little TM at the end like it's an actual thing. Mr. Crump says that they crushed their spirits and their imaginations in one fell swoop. Yay! Let's celebrate. The only problem though is that it needs to be resprayed every single 24 hours. Otherwise it'll fade away, but until you manage to sell that stuff, what are you going to do on weekends and holidays? Unless you just suddenly manage to sell it. Commercial Mr. Meaner has is hilarious. Are your children annoying? Do they whine, complain, and fight all the time? Do they refuse to eat anything but macaroni and cheese? Why macaroni and cheese? Is that a thing that kids eat? Because I don't recall ever eating anything but macaroni and cheese. Then are they sucking the life out of you? Well, with Riddle-Kid 2000 TM is here to help. And Riddle-Kid 2000 TM has a fully day supply of vitamin C, so you can feel good about dosing your child with narcotic that has never been tested for long-term effects. And TM apparently stands for trademark. How that connects to companies, I don't know, it's summer vacation, I'm not supposed to be learning stuff, but there you go. There's a bit of knowledge for y'all. TM stands for trademark. Take that knowledge to the end of your days. I'm sure it's going to help you. Doesn't George and Harold see the commercial and then go to school and looking like adults and then tell all the children to start doing crazy stuff for the teachers? But just filling the car? I think that's a little bit too far. I mean, that's a car. It costs a lot of money. I love this line here. Grown-ups do not make mistakes, when obviously they do. I mean, like, I hate it when teachers say, and grown-ups, and whatever, when a grown-up says, oh, they're always right. When anyone says that's annoying, I'm not going to be ageist. When anyone says they're always right, they're wrong. Because they're not always right. So whenever someone says they're always right, You can just say, well, you're wrong. So you're not always right, therefore you're wrong. See? And if they're so smart, then they'll be able to figure out they are messing with them, and if they don't, then you can be satisfied that they're stupid. George and Harold need to find a grown-up that they can trust, but they can't trust their parents because parents are stupid. So then they go to the future and meet themselves as grown-ups, and they're like super rich and stuff. What I really like though, and that everyone found a shocker, is as it turns out, Harold actually grows up to be gay. And just a reminder, gay means that you fall in love with people who are of the same gender as you. So if you're a boy who's watching this and you turn out to be gay, that means that you fall in love with boys, and if you're a girl, then you fall in love with girls. But I'm like, really good job on you, Dave Pilkey. Like, that's actually a really good lesson to teach kids, because it's not even like it's a big deal like in Doctor Who or something. It's just like he just like casually mentions it. It literally just goes, old George and his wife and their kids sat on a couch while old Gerald and his husband sat on the couch. They just casually mention it, but that's really good because it is supposed to be a casual thing. There's nothing wrong with your sexuality. Yeah, it's nice how the world is peaceful and wait, what? Controversy. In October 2015, the book received controversy due to a reference to Harold being gay. Some elementary schools have banned the book for this reason. What? Can someone, like, am I missing something, or are they just really stupid? Like, what's wrong with being gay? So if Dave Pilkey made Harold have a wife, then that's fine. That's fine. Being straight is fine. I mean, then that's cool. But being gay, no, you can't be gay, guys. No one ever be gay. That's apparently how the world works now. Apparently. Somehow. And it wasn't even like a big reveal or anything like that. It was just casually mentioned. As casually as George sitting down with his wife, it was mentioned that Harold sat down with his husband. But somehow, no, that's not allowed. This is stupid. This world is stupid. Didn't Harold read a random chapter of their future Dogman novels? Is this gonna connect or something? Like, Dave Pilkey, are you planning to connect this with the series somehow? It even has Petrie as an adult, as the world's most incorrigible. What? Alright, incorrigible means not able to be corrected, improved, or reformed. More knowledge for y'all. So they all go back in time, and Captain Underpants saves the day, basically. Oh, and by the way, if you're wondering why present George and Harold haven't been affected by the thing, it's because they're sick. So the obedience spray thing can't get past their stuffed up noses. But anyway, so Mr. Meaner gets put in jail, and then we have this stupidest, most randomest way to make a final main, like, all-powerful villain at the end. It's I don't know. I mean, you know, I shouldn't be saying this kind of stuff because I do that in my stories sometimes too, but it's just gotta be said. If my books ever get published, then anyone who reviews them can complain about my random stuff too. Hi, Smudge. What you doing here, buddy? You alright? You okay? I think he's okay. Man, just this ending is just so epic. I don't want to reveal exactly what happens, but it's just so epic. You just gotta read it. Because, like, this just started out as, like, just a really classic little thing. And, like, you remember how weirdly drawn George and Harold just look by comparison compared to how we see them now? And the first book was just barely over 100 pages, and it was just a little funny thing that leave it on open ending, that when Mr. Crump gets water poured on his head, he turns back into Mr. Crump, and when he hears snapping fingers, he turns back into Captain Underpants. And now it's just become this super epic scene, like, just seeing, like, Captain Underpants being sprayed with water and us reading the book, like, oh no, he's gonna turn back into Mr. Crump. It's just, like, so amazing. I don't want to spoil it for you guys, but you just gotta read it. And on a slightly open ending, but some of the plot holes get resolved and tie him back together. And then I remember, as soon as I received the book, I'm not gonna lie, as soon as I grabbed the book from the chapter's bookshelf, the very first thing that I did was flip to the back and, like, just hope that there was a cliffhanger. And then I just saw this and I was like, oh no! After that, we see all the books that I've reviewed, except for this one because you're such in a rush, but mainly all the ones that I've reviewed, mostly. And then we get an advertisement for finally That book that I mentioned in my very first YouTube video that it hasn't come out yet, we finally got an advertisement for that book. But Dave Pilkey, just remember, still waiting on the Captain Underpants Cartoonorama, book number 1, Heroes, Villains, and Super Creeps to learn how to draw 78 billion cartoon characters in 22.5 ridiculous easy lessons. Frankenfart versus the Bionic Barf Bunnies from Diarrhea Land from Evil Dave Pilkey. The Adventures of Ook and Gluck Jr. Kung Fu Cave Kids in Outer Space. Don't forget about them, Dave Pilkey. I get a nice little about the author with actual new stuff that kind of relates to the book. When Dave Pilkey was a kid, he suffered from ADHD, dyslexia, and behavioral problems. Dave Pilkey was so disruptive in class that his teachers made him sit down in the hall every day. Fortunately, Dave loved to draw and make up stories. He spent his time in the hallway creating his own original comic books. In the 2nd grade, Dave Pilkey created a comic book about a superhero named Captain Underpants. His teacher ripped it up and told him he couldn't spend the rest of his life making silly books. Fortunately, Dave was not a very good listener. And here's the poster that I was talking about, and yes, in case you're wondering, it does indeed glow in the dark, but you have to like hold it under light for a while, like 5 minutes, and then turn off the lights, which unfortunately I can't show you right now, because it's so freaking bright out. Anyway, yeah, we got that, and then even on the back, we got an extra prank, which is kind of cool. You gotta open up the poster again, and, oh, freak, it's upside down, but yeah, it's another prank. Go buy the book if you want to read it. And let's see what oh, I guess that's it. Well, that's it, guys. It's over. I just want to say that just a huge thank you to Dave Pilkey. Because just think about, like, this series that Dave Pilkey hopefully loves to make and we love to read wouldn't have started if he listened to his teachers and decide, okay, we're not gonna make. I'm not saying don't stay in school. Stay in school. Pay attention in school. It's good for you. Trust me. Like all the grown-ups say it, and you're probably gonna think, nah, but like honestly, it will help you. Just trust me. But like Dave Pilkey kept at his storytellings and kept on his inappropriate things. His creativity just wasn't functioning in the way that his teachers wanted it to, but that didn't stop him from creating these books. And he created this series with like millions and millions of copies in print. And also, I just want to say, because with my YouTube channel, Captain Underpants were the ones that were really popular. Now kind of my other videos are getting kind of popular, but just for starters, the only videos that were getting like hundreds of views were Captain Underpants ones. And now, I've got a Captain Underpants video with over 20,000 views, almost at 25,000. And just, if it wasn't for Captain Underpants, I would be making those videos that were barely getting any views, and I might have quit YouTube after a little bit. But I kept on telling myself, like, no, you got your Captain Underpants Book 12 cover with 10,000 views, you gotta keep on going. So if it wasn't for you, Dave Pilkey, if you are watching this, shut up, it could happen, then I probably wouldn't still be making YouTube videos. Tried to publish his first book over and over again, and he got rejected over and over again, and that didn't stop him. If he let it stop him, good grammar, then yeah, just, these books would have never been made. My YouTube channel would probably be dead, probably a lot of other stuff. Yeah, I just want to let Dave Pilkey know that you have inspired me along with tons of other kids, especially not to give up. Because if you give up, there's a 100% chance that what you're trying to do isn't going to work. But if you don't give up, then there's always a chance. You're either going to die a success, or you're going to die trying. But that's not going to mean that you're going to die a failure. And you guys can make a difference too. Like, it's not like you need to be a superhero or something, as far as I'm aware. Anyway, Dave Pilkey is also just a normal human being like us. Well, I say normal. He's not really normal. Yeah, I mean, just a reminder, it wasn't actually Dave Pilkey who made my videos popular. It was actually you guys. It's you guys who watch my videos and like them and dislike them and leave comments and subscribe to my channel that keep me want to keep going. Gotta keep on going. Don't let anything get in your way. Don't let people making you get down. You can accomplish anything you want to as long as you put your mind to it. And I wish you luck. You're either gonna die a success or die trying. Anyway, this series was brought to you by Dave Pilkey, the creator of the entire Captain Underpants series. Huh. Smudges come to join the end credits. Anyway, yep, read all the books, enjoy all the books, read the spin-offs, enjoy the spin-offs, and I'll see you next time, where I review the next book in this series. Freaking phone charger. Oh, well, that's not a very long title. Oh well. Well, yeah, Dogman. I'll see you there. There's no villains to zoom in. Oh, crap. Oh well, goodbye. Also, crap isn't a swear word either. Shut up.